Good morning. As you all arrive today and find your way to your mat, go ahead and grab a couple pillows, or I'm going to use my block. And we're just going to elevate the hips a little bit. And then as you come into cross-legged, go ahead and keep your feet a little bit away from your body. And we're going to work towards getting our thighs parallel to one another. You should be able to feel your knees drop down a little bit more with the elevated hips. And we're going to work on some hip openers today. But let's go ahead and just start with a few breaths, allowing your eyes to close. Turning your attention into your breath. And as you begin to become aware of your breath, go ahead and begin to deepen it. And if you haven't already, go ahead and begin to take your inhales and exhales through the nose. Allowing your shoulders to drop down away from your ears. Your belly relaxes. Your hips relax. Just allowing gravity to do the work here. Maybe you begin to draw the crown of your head up towards the sky, finding a little more length in the spine. Gently allowing your eyes to open. Go ahead and take your right arm across your left leg, your left arm behind you to support you. I'm just going to take a gentle twist. Maybe you gaze out all the way over your back shoulder. And gently releasing and twisting the other way. And gently releasing. Go ahead and remove the block or pillows, coming all the way down onto the mat. I want you to take your feet nice and wide, wider than hips distance apart, and then roll a little flush out from under your sit bones. And just with your heels on the ground, taking your hands behind you for support, opening the chest, drawing the heart forward. We're just going to begin dropping the knees to one side and then the other. Beginning to get some movement in the hip joints. And then dropping to one side, just holding for a breath or two. Feet stay nice and flexed. And up through center, and holding on the other side. And inhaling back to center, go ahead and grab behind the thighs, drawing your feet in. Dropping your right knee to the mat. We're going to gently cradle our left hand in our hand and the back of the thigh. And you're going to keep that foot nice and flexed and just begin drawing the shin towards parallel with the chest. And you keep your leg at a nice 90-degree angle. Maybe you rock a little from side to side, continuing to move up that hip joint. And gently releasing. Go ahead and switch sides. Again, maybe rocking from side to side, breathing into that hip. And gently releasing. We can go ahead and make our way onto our hands and knees. And we're just going to take just a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhaling the crown and tailbone up. And exhale, pressing in through the hands and knees. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Beginning to wake up the spine. And for just a couple breaths, maybe you take a little intuitive flow, shifting the hips to one side and then the other. Maybe you bend into the elbows to get in between the shoulder blades. Just play for a few breaths here. As you're ready, making your way back to neutral spine, tucking those toes under, pressing your hips up and back for down dog. For this down dog, go ahead and take the edges of your feet to the outside edges of the mat. So we're going to take kind of a wide down dog. And keep a micro bend in your knees. Spreading your fingers wide, pressing your hips up and back, and then just beginning to encourage those heels towards the ground. You're gazing back towards your feet. And we're going to begin to wake up the body with a few vinyasa flows. So on your inhale, taking a deeper bend in the knees, gazing forward, and stepping or hopping your feet to your hands. Taking an exhale here in forward fold, keeping a nice bend in your knees. Inhale, tucking the tailbone, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, placing the hands and stepping back into high plank. Dropping your knees, chest, chin through chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, shifting the hips up and back into down dog. You're going to take 3 deep breaths here, inhaling through the nose, opening the mouth and sticking the tongue out, and exhaling. 2 more times. And 1 more time. On your next inhale, bending the knees, gazing forward, and exhale, hopping or stepping your feet to your hands. Taking 1 inhale and exhale here. On your next inhale, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart. 1 more round, inhaling up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, place hands and step back. One inhale at the top of the plank. And exhale, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, the hips back and up, down dog. 3 deep breaths here. Then on your next inhale, bending the knees, gazing forward. And exhale, stepping or hopping your feet to your hands. Taking a breath here in forward fold, feeling the opening in the back of the legs. On your next inhale, rising up. And exhale, hands to heart. And we're going to go ahead and continue this one all the way back to down dog. Inhaling up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, placing your hands, stepping back. One inhale at the top of the plank. Dropping down, knees, chest, chin. Inhaling cobra. And exhale, down dog. Now that we're a little warm, we're going to go ahead and get right into the hip openers. So go ahead and take your left foot towards the center of the mat. Inhale your right leg up. And you're going to exhale your knee all the way through as close as you can to your nose, placing that leg on the ground for pigeon. You can either have the foot pointing in towards the body, or for a little deeper stretch, beginning to bring that foot towards parallel with the front of the mat. And then you're just going to peek back and see that your back leg is tracking straight behind you, and then dropping that left hip down until your hips become parallel with the mat. If you already feel a nice deep stretch here, this may be where you want to breathe in this pose today. If it's available to you, maybe you'll come down onto your elbows. And if it's available, maybe you continue to work your way down till the forehead comes to the mat. On your next inhale, beginning to press up, tucking those back toes under, shifting the hips up and back, releasing that right foot. And we're just going to walk it out in down dog. And go ahead and bring that right foot now towards the center of the mat. Left foot up and back, drawing that knee through as close as you can to the nose, and then setting that left leg on the ground. Go ahead and drop the right knee in the top of the right foot. Taking your gaze back, See that your leg is tracking straight behind you. And again, you can draw that foot in towards your body, or for a deeper stretch, bringing that shin towards parallel to the front of the mat. If you bring the shin towards parallel, please flex that front foot. Maybe you're here. Maybe you begin to walk down onto your elbows. And if it's available to you, maybe you come all the way down. Forehead to the mat. And just breathing here. When you breathe here, check in with yourself. If you're clenching your jaw, go ahead and release that now. If you're squeezing around your eyes, go ahead and relax the forehead. Relax around your eyes. Relax any clenching in the neck. Relax the belly. And just breathe into that hip. On your next inhale, beginning to press back up, tucking those back toes under, shifting the hips up and back, down dog. Go ahead and walk out that dog. Before bringing your knees to the mat and making your way to seated. Go ahead and begin to make your way down, all the way onto your back. And draw your right leg in towards your chest. From here, go ahead and take your pointer finger, middle finger, hooking onto that big toe, and beginning to draw the sole of that foot up towards the ceiling. And you're going to kind of draw that hip down into your armpit while pressing back up into your hand with the foot. We're just going to hold this here for a couple minutes, half happy baby. Continuing to draw that knee in, continuing to resist it with the foot. You should feel a nice opening and spreading in the hip, the back of the leg, anywhere in that area where you may be holding tension or tightness. And I want you to breathe here. Today, as we focus on our sacral chakra, this is our chakra that's responsible for how we feel and how we show up in the world. It's our pleasure center, and in Sanskrit, it's called Svadhisthasana, which translates to one's own place. The task of the second chakra includes allowing for emotional and sensual movement in our life and being. This is how we learn to go with the flow. It's often called the body chakra because it's where you connect with the physical body through your senses. So as we work with our hips in these openings, we begin to allow the energy to flow more freely, feeling more present in our body. And go ahead and release that foot back to the mat. And we're going to draw the right knee in towards the chest. And then from here, go ahead and hook the pointer and middle finger onto that left big toe. Again, drawing that knee in towards your armpit. And pressing back up into that foot. Again, holding this side here. Breathing into the hip and the back of the leg. As much as this is a relaxing pose, it's also an active pose. So as you relax through the belly and the shoulders, you can continue that drawing down and pressing up. And as you take a few more breaths here, I'd like to add a mantra in or a centering thought. I honor my body and I treat myself respectfully. I feel the power of healing moving in and through me as I affirm my worth and honor my body. Gently releasing that foot back to the mat. Go ahead and just grab behind your thighs. And you're going to begin rolling back and forth. Maybe a few times, massaging the spine. Before making your way up to seated. I'm going to go ahead and take one more deep hip opener. I'm going to do my best to close this class in the next few minutes so we can all make it to our next class. So go ahead and take the right foot on the mat, a little bit away from the body, kind of so it's parallel to the front of the mat, and you have almost a 90-degree angle. And you're going to go ahead and work that other foot up onto that knee. And for those who are a little more open in the hips, you may sit all flat on the ground already. If not, go ahead and take a block or a pillow and just place it in that gap there so your knee is not floating in space. If you feel you want to take this a little deeper, if you're not already feeling a nice stretch in the hip, you can begin to take a forward fold, walking those hands forward in front of you. And on your next deep inhale, beginning to press up. If you used a block, go ahead, release the block. Maybe use your hands to gently release that leg. And we're going to switch sides. As you get that set up, shin parallel to the front of the mat, quad perpendicular, seeing if you can get a nice 90-degree angle. And drawing the top foot up, keeping both feet nice and flexed. Again, placing that block or pillow if your knee is floating, like me and my nice tight hips. Maybe here's already good for you. Maybe you want to go a little deeper. You begin to forward fold, drawing those fingers forward, keeping your spine nice and long. And breathing here into the hips and back body. So on your next inhale, beginning to press up, releasing the block and that leg. And we're gonna make our way all the way onto our backs for our final resting position. But instead of full length Shavasana today, let's go ahead and take Baddha Konasana. So bringing the soles of the feet together and allowing the knees to fall out to the sides. You can rest your hands on your belly or allow them to come out to the side. Allowing the eyes to close, body to soften. I'm gonna just gently read this poem aimed at bringing awareness and opening to your sacral chakra. I love my life. I honor my body and treat myself respectfully. I feel the power of healing moving in and through me as I affirm my worth and honor my body. I trust my feelings and give them ample room for expression. I lighten my body each time I feel well within myself. I am a creature of light, open to my highest joy. I am grateful for the joy of being me. I receive pleasure and abundance with every breath I take. Goodness, beauty, and joy resonate with my soul. I am at one with them. Healing happens each time I rest, relax, and enjoy myself. My body responds to thoughts of pure love and goodness. I heal any condition that affects me by knowing my body seeks balance and regeneration. I stimulate my immunity by knowing God lives in and through me. I encourage healing each time I affirm my worth and honor my choice for love. I love exactly who I am. There is nothing to change about the way I am. As I love and respect myself, healing happens naturally. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling it all out. At the bottom of this exhale, see if you can push out even just a little bit more air, squeezing the diaphragm. And then just allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Gently grabbing behind the knees and drawing them up to center, soles of your feet come to the mat. And rolling onto one side into fetal position. And from fetal, beginning to press into your hands, coming up to seated, gently allowing the head to come up last. And bringing the palms of our hands together at heart center. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste. And I'm going to just close this class quickly so we can all have the few minutes to transition to our next meeting.